ready when you are.
Welcome back to another episode of Residual Earners. We're excited to be here with you today. I am Presley, and this is
Reagan.
And we have some exciting information for you on how to build a brand in 2025 using AI. And we have got one of the best here with us. You know, before we get started, I'll say welcome to all you new folks. We're excited you're joining us. We do these podcasts, and they have been phenomenal. The reception has been phenomenal. And believe it or not, we've been doing this almost a year and a half now, Reagan. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. The other thing I'll tell you is residualearnersuniversity.com is rocking too. So if you haven't become a member of that, you're going to certainly want to do that. But that's enough said. We can hit it again at the end, but I want to get going here. And, you know, I don't think she needs much of an introduction, but this young lady is, social media expert, an SEO expert, an AI expert. I could go on and on and on, but we're going to cover some stuff that is going to come in real handy for you when it comes to branding in 2025. But welcome, Reagan.
Well, thank you guys for having me back. I think Presley and I will be doing quite a few podcasts moving forward. So if you guys were sick of me, we'll prepare to be even more sick of me.
Yeah, no, they're not going to be sick of you. You make the place look better too. You know, guys, talking about being prepared, you notice usually when I'm doing our podcast, I just wing it. But I actually came up with some notes here that I wanted to make sure and cover because I think this is an important topic. So, you know, Reagan, here's my first thing I wrote down. How has your approach to branding evolved with the rise of AI?
So, of course, AI has changed almost everything for me. As a marketer, you know, we're in a position where we have to start leveraging AI, even if we don't want to. We have to start leveraging it. It's just better for our own workflow. It does really, if we're being honest, 80 to 90% of the things that we used to have to outsource, or me, I used to have to hire, it's doing 80 to 90% of that. So it's to a point where me as a business owner, I'm smart if I'm leveraging AI. But me as somebody just wanting to build a brand and build a business, if you're somebody that doesn't have the tens of thousands of dollars it takes to create a logo and create a brand and to go through a core branding process and do your vision and mission statement, then get all the files for the logo, then build your website. I mean, when you go to an agency, it used to be like tens of thousands of dollars to do that the right way. You're saving tens of thousands of dollars now by doing 90% of it with AI. So for me, it's changed everything, and it puts me in positions where if somebody does want to brand with me, I'm able to not charge a client tens of thousands of dollars because I know what it actually costs. And I'm able to, instead of outsourcing to 1 million people, a lot of it can be done. A lot of my designers can do some of the work using AI, which is super helpful. Something that I want to start off by saying, AI won't replace humans. Humans who use AI will replace other humans. So while talking today, I don't want anyone to get the impression that a marketer or a brand strategist is not needed. You still need those people, but you need those people that are leveraging AI. Or if you're creating your own business or brand, don't solely rely on AI for everything, because it can't do 100% of what you're trying to do. But it's great to get started with.
Yeah, and, you know, not revealing what you're working on, but you had a project you were showing me, and we were talking about that it would have probably cost $40,000 or $50,000 and would have, you know, my gosh, burned up 2-3 weeks to put together.
Oh yeah,
and in
months.
Yeah, or even months, and you did it in literally just an hour.
Oh yeah, a couple of hours. Now here's the reality. I'm in marketing, so I know a lot of the steps to take to get to the point where I start branding a product. But no kidding, and I can't say exactly what the brand name is.
Right.
But I started trying to create a functional beverage. So like, you know, if you got an energy drink or something, you know what that looks like, you know, in the 12-ounce can, like a Celsius. And as I was creating, I came up with the brand name. So I was already kind of prepared for the vision that I wanted to go. But the second I started working with ChatGPT on what taglines can I use and what are some industry insights. I mean, within the next 2 hours, I went from just asking some basic questions to having full can concepts. And when I say can concepts, it modeled the can design based off of what I wanted the brand to look like, and it was better than I could have imagined myself. Like, obviously, I gave it the foundation, but what it did with the foundation was remarkable enough for me to go, that's perfect. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. And
You know what amazed me is it put your can in people's hands in pictures
oh yeah.
and put a bunch of them in a refrigerator, and I mean I was in awe of how it laid it out.
I photoshopped the can with girls, doing different activities with the can in their hand, and then it photoshopped the design into, like you said, a refrigerator. I mean, I was able to create so many different mock-ups from with ChatGPT. And the funny thing is I underestimated it because I actively have been using ChatGPT since we were able to use it, since we've had the app. I have been actively using AI the second we were able to use it the way we are using it now, because AI has always been here. It's been here a very long time. Just the way that we use it now, like a search engine, is a relatively new way to use AI that's basically taking over everything, but it advances tremendously every year. Even last year, it wouldn't have been able to do the concepts as well as it is doing this year, because it's getting better. They're programming it to be better and better and better. So understand it has its limitations. When I first created the can concept and I approved a design, I'm like, oh, I love this. And then when I asked it to put it in the hands of somebody riding a horse or whatever I wanted, some crazy Photoshop, it did it, but then didn't do it quite right. So it looked kind of like the can. So then I had to prompt it again and say, hey, that's a totally different looking can. Use this can. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry, I didn't understand. And then it used the right can. So understand it's not perfect. And I think that's where people get frustrated. They get so excited because it can do something, right? It created a can concept. Okay, well, I'll put this can on a girl riding a horse. Ah, dang, it did everything but use the right can. This thing is stupid. No, it's not. No, it's not. It just takes a little bit of prompting, and it's not perfect. However, I mean, the fact that it can do that at this point is crazy. So yeah, I created an entire brand within. I mean, not only did I get the logo and the colors and the different logo styles and the different, what am I looking for, file types. I don't know I'm lost on the word. I should know this word, but it gave me everything I needed. It gave me a full logo package. I took all of that and then used another AI tool to build me a e-com website around it, which took a couple of minutes. Obviously, it takes longer than that. You got to prompt it and tell it what you want to do, but it built the framework of an e-com website within minutes.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't use it as in depth as you do, but even like last night, a lot of you guys have seen Duke Tran. He's been on our podcast before, and he's a wealth management expert, and he handles all my money. But we had him in our university, as Reagan knows, she was there. But I asked ChatGPT to give me some questions to ask Duke Tran of Duke Wealth Management. We're going to have him on Zoom on our university, and I mean, it goes, great idea, yada, 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 and spit me out all those questions. And I mean, where used to, I would have had to sit there for an hour thinking up questions to ask Duke. It just spit them all out in literally a minute, and I'm in awe. I'm in awe. And I mean, I'm using it like a first grader would, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
That's the thing, to use it the right way, to use it to the best of its capabilities, is you got to understand what prompts to use. And understand the way AI works versus regular search. So if you're searching on Google, and I'm in SEO, search engine optimization, that's a business that I have, so I especially knows how this works. But when you search something on Google, outside of the AI, the listings that you're getting in on that page are people that did SEO to get their way there, people that have good blog topics. Obviously, you have ad spots which people are paying for. So you're essentially the search that you're getting, somebody did things to get to the top, right? Versus AI in its search engine, it scans the internet for pieces of information, and then it has logic. Google search itself outside of AI doesn't have logic. This the AI uses logic to give you the best possible answer. So if you use it as a search engine, you most likely will get something with a little bit of logic. AI will understand. It will scan the internet of billions of pieces of information to try to get you the right piece of information. So using it as a search engine is also really good. You'll miss out on a couple of features that aren't on Google, but at the end of the day, what's cool about AI is it's very, very logical. And that's why some people, I've even told, I don't know how, if this is going down the right path or not, but if I'm in a situation where I'm arguing with somebody and you get super emotional, or if it's a business situation and you have a hard time putting your emotions away, I've done this myself, and I've told my sisters and my friends to do this, bring it to AI. The reason being is because it's so logical that nothing is going to be emotion based. It's going to give you it's going to completely remove that and give you a really good answer or response that you can use in any sort of situations. I don't know if if that's me going down a path of treating it like it's, humanizing it to a point where people think that's dangerous. However, it could be really, really helpful. I mean, I have friends that make their jokes about AI as their lawyer or ChatGPT as their lawyer. Like, yeah, I got a lawyer. It's ChatGPT. That's not crazy, because
No.
it scans the internet with billions of pieces of information. It gives you it in just a couple of seconds. That could be really helpful in a situation.
No, it could. I've noticed, Reagan, there are lots of tools coming out because of AI. What do you see as the most powerful tools now that you use in branding with AI?
So I will say the number one tool by far, it's the most used tool, is ChatGPT. Because a lot of the AI tools out there, they're using, ChatGPT, their AI, OpenAI, to establish their tool. So it's not going to be super different. When a tool usually comes out, there's certain programming and developing to make that tool unique around the thing that it's actually doing, obviously. But if you're going to brand a business and you're going to start off with, at the beginning when you're branding, if you don't have a name or you don't have a vision, ChatGPT is a very good place to start. It does have its limits. That's why there's other AI tools. Once you get to the logo phase, it may not produce the logo with the right files and things that you need in order to actually use your branding. So ChatGPT, I think, would be a good place to start when you're actually creating your brand. There's tools like, there's one called Looka, Looka, and it's a tool where you can take your logo idea and it will generate hundreds of different logo styles you can actually use, and then the right files for that. I don't know what's the name I'm thinking of. The right man, I'm gonna have to come back. It's something so silly that I say every day, and I can't even say it now. But with the right files, SVG, PNG, JPEG, the things that you need, the branding, logo, files. Oh my gosh, it's called something.
That's all right.
It'll come back to me.
You're doing good.
I'll
You're
ask
doing good.
ChatGPT. One tool that I really, really love, I don't like to deploy or launch websites using AI and whatever backend that they have. However, there is a tool called Lovable that my web developer told me about.
Lovable.
Dev. It is a full stack website creator. And what full stack means is it creates the front end and the back end. The difference between the front end and the back end of a website is the front end is everything the user sees, and the back end is the thing that makes the things on the front end work.
All the code.
Exactly. So if you go to a website and you're like, wow, this is a beautiful website, I'm going to fill out that form. Well, that form functionality is happening on the back end. So it does full stack websites. I like to build websites off of WordPress because I do SEO. So there's what I use the Lovable tool for is concepting for the design. So I'll get in there and I'll generate a website design in a couple of minutes and get an idea of what I really want to do. And it helps in the selling process too, because the client's like, well, I have an idea that I might want to do this. And then I can draft up and publish like a real live website real quick of something that looks like something they may want. And they'll be like, wow, that's awesome. She got back to me within 24 hours with concepts already. That's crazy. It's really helpful in the selling process because you can get in front of somebody really quickly, get some designs, and then if they like a direction, you can actually have a developer build it and then publish it on whatever platform you want, or develop it on whatever platform you want. But it's really, really good for beginners to get an idea of what they want their website to look like. And if you don't care about where it's built on, if you're someone like not like me and you don't care where it's built, then you can actually launch the website on this AI tool within
Lovable.
minutes. Lovable.
Now, with Lovable, like if you wanted to get in there and alter the code a little bit, does it allow you to do that?
It does. It does allow you to do only certain parts. It has its limits. That's why, for me, I like to just take the design concept and then give it to a developer who can build it off WordPress. What's cool is it has, a lot of the design code in there, so a developer can go in, take that, and build it. But it has a lot of limitations. So for me, it's not a good option because, like I said, we do SEO and we have to have access to the code. We have to be able to make whatever changes we need technically, which the platform will have its limits.
I got you. All right, I got another question that I wrote down for you. How do you use AI to create brand visuals, like logos or content themes that don't look generic?
This is a good question. So the way you make it not look generic is it really relies on how you prompt it. So with ChatGPT, if you say, I want a logo around, I don't know, I'm starting a coffee company and it's going to be called Crazy Coffee with a K, Coffee with a K, Crazy with a K, and I want a logo. And that's the only information that you give it. Okay, well, you're going to get a generic response. Maybe you'll get a unique looking logo that looks good, but you didn't feed the tool enough information. So the more information you feed the tool, the better output you're going to get. So if you don't know how to feed it yet, start off with the generic question. Start off slow. If you don't have all the ideas yet, you're really stuck. You just have one idea. You haven't been able to expand. Then yes, say I want to start a coffee shop, Crazy Coffee. Get some logos. It's going to give you some ideas. Ask the tool for taglines, a vision, a mission. Look up. Actually, you don't even have to look it up. You can ask the tool, what are some branding elements I need? It will tell you everything. Well, you're going to need a logo. You're going to need a tagline. You're going to need a vision and mission statement. You're going to need X, Y, Z. It's going to tell you what you need. Okay, help me create that. Okay, here's some concepts. And then it also makes suggestions at the end. If you guys use ChatGPT, it'll say, will you also like me to do this? Would you also consider some of these things? So work with the tool, and then ask the tool. You can even tell the tool, I've never branded a company before. So I need you to help me finalize this brand and treat it as if I'm going through a branding process with a marketing agency. And it will. It'll know the right questions to ask, and it will guide you to the finish line. But to get something not generic, you have to be able to give the tool a lot of information and work with it. It's not Google. It's a tool that has logic, and you can treat it as if it's an agency, and you can have, honest conversations, and you can tell it an idea, no matter how silly it seems. Give it as much information as possible. That's how you're not going to get generic responses.
Guys, I'm sitting here learning like crazy, and I know you are too. And understand, Reagan is part of Residual Learners University. She is a huge part of Residual Learners University, and she's got courses in there and everything else. So, if you're getting a flavor for this, go check us out at residualearnersuniversity.com. And I mean, this is just scratching the surface compared to what's in there. So I just want you to know that. All right, Reagan, can you use AI to help you find your target audience maybe, and maybe position your brand? Is that possible?
Yes. So with this functional beverage that I started creating, one, I will say, there are elements of creating a product or creating a brand that you're going to have to define on your own. So if you have an idea to create a brand, you need to already have an idea of what the problem is and what you're solving. There's most likely always a problem and a solution. For me, I wanted to create a beverage because I was having a problem in my own life, and I was trying to create a drink that solves that, my own drink. So I knew going into the branding process, I'm targeting people that are in my situation. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, this is what I want to do. And how many people do you think are struggling with what I'm struggling with? Well, ChatGPT is going to scan billions of pieces of information on the internet. And it sent me resources and links of people that have made a YouTube video or a TikTok video talking about their struggles. And then it also gave me market insights of beverages that are similar and how they're doing and how they're growing. And it just gave me a lot of information that kind of led me to, okay, so I kind of know who my target audience is, but I also learned a lot more about my target audience, because at first it was just me. But if I'm going to create this for me, I need to know all of the additional things someone like me is going through and maybe potential other opportunities. And that's what the tool did for me. It sent me all the resources of people like me. And then when I went and watched those videos, I learned other things those people were struggling with that I need to appeal to with creating this product that I didn't know before. And then once you take all of that information in, I developed my true target audience. And then I was able to identify a specific demographic based off of everything I did with ChatGPT, because it basically led me there. Once I understood my target demographic, it was like, okay, so here's your target demographic. Here's what they're struggling with. Let's take this further. This is the exact demographic of people based off of all of this information that you should be targeting. And here's all these additional statistics and numbers to help you. So you need to go in, I think, to get your target audience. Like, if you say, who's my target audience, it's going to give you, some basic information. But if you already have an idea of the problem you're trying to solve, I would go in that way, and it's going to give you data that is more relative to the problem. And it's the better, like I said, the better input you give it, the better information you're going to give it. And you can't fully rely on it. So if I say, I have a drink idea, who's my target audience? Well, then it's going to say, oh, okay, well, here's all the people that drink. I mean, that's very basic.
Right.
But if I say I have, and this isn't what I'm doing, but let's say I'm creating an energy drink, and I'm like, I want to create an energy drink that has 300 milligrams of caffeine, creatine, and all these whatever. Who would be my target audience? Now it's going to come up with a different demographic of people. So the more you have, information you have on it, the better output you're going to get.
Wow. All right. Now, you start this company and you get it going. How can you use AI to scale a business?
Well, this is where I'm currently going through this in my business, is once you establish a company, how can I use AI to better my workflows and things like that? I mean, there's CRMs that you can use. There's project task managers that you can use for AI. There's so many different things AI can do to help you get to the next level. You can use AI to develop social media content strategies to help you. So if you do have a social media manager and they're supposed to be posting content to help you grow your business, 80% of the research can be done by an AI tool. I mean, you can pretty much integrate it in almost every area of your business. The way you can use it to scale is don't rely on it for the strategy to scale. Use it for the workload that is required to scale. So, if you're doing project management, instead of hiring a massive project management team, hire one person, have them use AI to help them with 80% of the work and do it that way. Your business is going to scale better if you don't have a ton of overhead and a ton of employees. Like back in the day, if you needed a marketing team for something like this, you probably have 7 or 8 people doing it. Well, that's just not the case. 80% of the workload is being done by AI, so use it. So that's how I would use it to scale. Look at all the different areas of your business. Figure out if there's a tool that can help with the workload. But you're still going to need somebody handling the strategy, but you're able to have AI just do everything automated and quick and do 80% of it for you, which helps.
Wow. AI is literally changing just about everything in business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually use AI to create my weekly calendar because I like to say I'm type A. I'm type A in the sense that I'm motivated and driven, and I'm type B in the sense that I'm not very organized. And so for me, it's easier for me to get on ChatGPT and say, create me a weekly calendar. I need to do this, instead of doing it myself. It'll go, okay, here's your weekly calendar, and it'll organize every task that I need to do every single day and when I should do it. And then I actually have a tool, AI tool, that connects to my Google Calendar that can help schedule that for me. So, I mean,
Wow.
if you're someone like me and you don't like to do that, I don't cross my T's or dot my I's, it can do it for you.
Wow. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking, with AI doing so much of the work, how do you keep the brand feeling human and authentic? I mean, because it's not a person doing a lot of the work now, it's AI. So,
Yeah. So the way you keep it feeling human is you can't solely rely on everything that AI does. So if AI is creating your social media content, you still have to have a social media manager editing it. You should only use AI to do like the heavy load of work, the tedious work. Outside of that, you still need someone that's human touching it. And that's why I started off the call. AI can't replace humans, but humans who use AI will replace other humans. And that's so true because you still need that human touch. We saw this with blog content for SEO. You know, now everything, you see people creating blogs and you just know it was created by ChatGPT. Well, I don't want that. I know when somebody's Facebook post, their ad, their blog, messages. I have people send me messages that it's like they're trying to put their ideas out there and it's formatted for ChatGPT. And I'm like, okay, you kind of outed yourself because now I know you use ChatGPT. You got to have the human side of it. Use it to get the idea, to get the strategy, to get some information, but you still need to, when you're creating something using AI, you still need to have your touch on it. It shouldn't be used as a replacement. It should be used just to help you get to wherever you're trying to go. But you got to put your human touch on it. You still have to have a team. You still have to have a strategist.
wow. Well, believe it or not, we're kind of coming up on the end here. But if somebody wants to get a hold of Reagan, how do they do that?
So you can find me. Well, the best place to learn about this is Residual Earners University. So if you guys want to hear our live Tuesday calls, they're 7 p.m. Central every Tuesday. It's called the Digital Edge. That's the best place to learn about this stuff. If you just want to connect with me, Reagan Rugh, Reagan Rugh on LinkedIn.
Wow.
But I'm probably going to send you to the university.
The university's the place. Speaking of the university, give folks, before we get off here, your thoughts on the university.
Yeah, I say this all the time, but I absolutely love the university. I'm in the university. I get to be a part of the university. I get to launch courses in the university. And what the university is to me personally, if you guys are just coming across this information for the first time, I would say it's the number one business community out there. And when I say business community, I mean everybody is like-minded, trying to build something, trying to grow something, trying to brand something. And it's a 100% positivity zone. There's been 0% negativity. It's a place to come and talk about anything, any of your goals. It's a place where you can be vulnerable. It's a place where you can network. That's one of the biggest things is if you want to build a network and you don't know where to go and you don't have time to go to a hotel for a couple of hours, I mean, you'll have 600 new friends, 600 new people in your network instantly once you enter the community. So if I'm somebody that's wanting to build a business or build a brand and I want insights on how to do it, I want resources, I want to go through a course about social media, I want to get on the live calls, I want to connect with people that can give me feedback on my branding and honest, positive people that are on the same path as me, this is the best place to be.
Yeah. The university has blown me away, guys. It has exceeded all expectations. Reagan mentioned the positivity. Do you realize we now, in just a very short period of time, have over 600 members, and we haven't had to reprimand anybody for being negative? I mean, literally nobody, which to me has been wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew we'd have mostly positive people, but I thought there'd be a little bit maybe try to creep in. But it has been phenomenal, guys. And if you're wanting to network with business people, if you're wanting to, we have, like just this week, Reagan trained on all kinds of stuff with AI. We had Duke Tran on last night, and he was talking about, he's my wealth management expert. He was talking to everybody about investing and stuff like that. We're there to help you be a success. That's what the university was created for. So residualearnersuniversity.com. But you're amazing, Reagan.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. Couldn't do it without Reagan. Well, guys, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week on another episode of Residual Earners.